If you have ever thought I smell off even though I just showered, same. I used to do everything right, soap, perfume, wipes, and I would still feel gross by lunchtime. The truth is, most of us were not actually taught how to take care of our bodies. We were just sold products. This is the feminine hygiene routine that I actually wish I had in my 20s. There is no shame, no sugarcoating, no 12-step process, just the real reasons that you smell off and how to fix it without overdoing it. So let's start from the top. Let's just start with the stuff that I wish someone had said to me flat out when I was like 20, because I was out here Googling things like how to smell better, like it was going to solve all my problems. And what I really needed was someone to just say the obvious things without making it weird. So the first thing is discharge is normal. Wear a liner. Let's start here because it is literally what made me think something was wrong with me for a year. Discharge happens even when you are perfectly healthy, even if you're clean, even if you're freshly showered, if you did nothing all day. It does not mean you are dirty. It doesn't mean that you have an infection. It is literally your body functioning correctly, but it still is uncomfortable. And no one wants to feel damp halfway through the day. That is why wearing a liner is a game changer. A regular panty liner, or if you wear thongs, you can wear a thong liner. It keeps your underwear dry. It keeps you feeling cleaner, and it prevents that midday, wait, do I smell weird, spiraling feeling, which again is usually just discharge sitting in your underwear too long. I wish I knew that at 20. It would have saved me a lot of unnecessary panic. Second, cotton underwear only. I am serious. I know the cute stuff is fun, the lacy underwear, the seamless underwear, the ones that make you feel like you have your life together or that you're sexy, whatever, but for your actual life and especially your hygiene, you need cotton. Cotton is breathable. That means airflow. That means less trapped moisture. If you are constantly wondering why you feel damp, sweaty, or why things smell off even when you're clean, it might be your underwear fabric. So I am not saying throw everything out. Keep the cute stuff. For your everyday though, just go cotton, especially if you sit a lot, if you live somewhere hot, or if you tend to sweat. It matters. The third thing, sleep commando. Let her breathe. This is another thing no one told me. And when I finally started doing it, I was like, oh, this is what it's supposed to feel like. Your vulva has been locked in fabric all day. Underwear, leggings, synthetic pants, all of it. And then at night, we're like, okay, let's put on more underwear. Let's press her into a pillow for 8 hours straight. No, let her breathe. Unless you're on your period, there is no reason to wear underwear to bed. And if you're nervous about leaking discharge onto your sheets, see tip 1. That is what liners are for during the day. And from what I have found, because you're laying horizontally, because of gravity, you are not going to leak discharge. Let me just say this, at night she is off. Give her a break. The fourth thing is change out of sweaty clothes immediately. This one feels obvious, but I ignored it constantly. I would work out, go for a walk, or chase kids around, or just sweat through my errands. And then I would sit down, scroll through my phone for 30 minutes in sweaty underwear, like that wasn't gonna do anything. But no, that is how you get irritation. That is how you mess up your pH. And honestly, that is how you end up smelling weird, even though you showered that morning. So if you are sweaty, especially if you work out or if you live somewhere hot.
Right now, it's probably over 100 degrees. I'm sweating my ass off right now.
Change your clothes immediately, especially your underwear, not just your leggings, your actual underwear. The fifth thing is to shower at night, not just in the morning. This is polarizing, but I do not care. Showering at night is superior, especially for hygiene. If you only shower in the morning, you're going to bed with the whole day sweat, city air, deodorant buildup, and whatever else on your skin. You're going to bed with that. And now all of that is in your bed. And then you wake up, put on fresh clothes, and you wonder why you don't feel clean. It is because your bed is dirty. Shower at night, go to bed clean. You will feel better. Your sheets will stay fresher longer. Your skin will thank you. And if you need a quick rinse in the morning to wake up, do that, but don't skip the night one. These 5 things literally changed my hygiene more than any product that I have ever bought. No feminine wash, no yoni oil, no $60 serum, just this stuff. That is why I'm starting the video here, because if you do not have these things down, nothing else is going to work. Your body is not high maintenance. It is just picky. And once you give it what it actually wants, the irritation, the smell confusion, the discomfort, all of it gets easier. Okay, so let's talk about washing down there, because most of us were never actually taught how to do it. So this is the part where people get uncomfortable, but also where people mess up the most, because feminine hygiene is not complicated. It has just been made complicated on purpose. So if you feel like you're doing too much, or if nothing seems to work, or if you're constantly irritated, you're not gross. You're just over caring in the wrong way. So let's fix it. First, you are not supposed to wash inside ever. The biggest myth ever is that the inside needs to be cleaned, and it does not. It is self-cleaning. It is designed to flush itself out and to keep its own pH balanced. When you try to help, you are probably just making things worse. Douching, deep cleans, yoni sprays, floral soap, all of that messes with your pH, and it causes more problems than it actually solves. What you are supposed to clean is the outside. The second thing to keep in mind, wash with your hands, not a loofah. I know the loofah thing is tempting. You're like, but I want to scrub and feel clean, especially down there. But loofahs, scrubs, textured cloths, they're too harsh for down there. They will cause micro tears in sensitive areas. You don't feel them in the moment, but over time, that is where the irritation starts. Also, loofahs carry bacteria. They do not dry fast, and most people don't wash them regularly or at all. So if you are rubbing an old damp sponge all over the most sensitive part of your body, of course that is not going to work. Just use your clean hands. That is literally it. If you really feel like you need something like during your period, use a baby washcloth, something gentle, soft, and clean. Number 3, use a gentle pH balanced cleanser or just water. Water is literally enough, seriously. But if you want to use a cleanser, and I usually do, it needs to be fragrance free, pH balanced, and honestly as boring as possible. If you are ever wondering, is this too harsh? Ask yourself, would I be okay putting this on a paper cut? If the answer is no, it is probably too harsh for down there. Only clean the folds, and always front to back. You do not need to do a full excavation. Gently wash the outside in the folds and the outer area, not inside. Use your hands, swirl a little water or cleanser, and rinse off. Yes, always clean front to back, even in the shower. It is not just a wiping rule. If you are letting water and soap run from back to front, you are moving bacteria into places that it should not go. Don't do that. Okay, so you get out of the shower, you've washed the right way, you are clean, but now comes the part that nobody really talks about, how to stay clean. Because it's not enough to just wash properly, you have to set yourself up to stay fresh throughout the day and overnight, and a lot of people skip this part or just brush through it, and they wonder why things fall off a few hours later. So let's start with drying, and I mean actual drying, not a quick swipe of the towel and putting clothes on. I mean actually patting your clothes dry, especially down there and between every fold. Because if you are getting dressed while you're still a little damp, that is where the issues start. You are locking in moisture, and moisture equals bacteria, as I said. So even if you feel fine at first, give it a few hours. You're sweaty, you feel sticky, and you're wondering why it smells weird. It is because you did not fully dry off. Use a clean towel. Take your time, and if your skin is sensitive, use a tissue. There is no shame. Just be gentle and be thorough. Front to back always, and yes, dry your behind. That area holds moisture. Just do it, okay? What you do after your shower is what decides whether that clean feeling lasts. And once I fixed this part of my routine, everything else finally started working. So this is the part where people get a little defensive, but I don't care. I am going to say it anyways. You can be doing everything else right, showering, drying properly, wearing cotton, and still smell weird or feel off. And it is because of this stuff right here. So let's start with deodorant. You are probably using it wrong. And also, my kids are going absolutely crazy downstairs. I'm so sorry. I'm going to hold this until they leave. Let's start with deodorant. You are probably using it wrong. I used to apply mine in the morning right after I got dressed, and I would still smell halfway through the day, and I thought it was me. But no, it turns out deodorant works best when you apply it at night, which is crazy. Yes, at night before bed, not just in the morning. When you apply deodorant to clean dry skin at night, especially after a shower, it actually absorbs better. Your body isn't sweating yet, your pores are calm, and your product has time to work. So then when you wake up, you're already protected. You can reapply in the morning if you want, but honestly, the night application is the real MVP here. Also, let's be honest. If you are applying deodorant without washing first, that is not hygiene. That is layering product over sweat and bacteria. You're just trapping odor. And if you reapply midday without a wipe or a rinse, it is the same thing. You are mixing deodorant with old gunk. That is why it stops working. The second thing is wipes. I am not anti-wipe, but I am anti-overuse. You do not need a wipe for every bathroom trip. You don't need to carry around 10 different scented wipes and use them like perfume. It is too much. Most of them are full of fragrance, alcohol, essential oils, all things that don't belong anywhere near down there. And if you're using them constantly, you're disrupting your pH, you're stripping moisture, and honestly, you're making yourself smell worse in the long run. So here's the deal. Wipes are fine sometimes after the gym, on your period, when you're out all day, long travel days, fine. But when you get home, you rinse. Water is always better. A gentle wash with clean hands and warm water will do more for you than a wipe ever could. You do not need a wipe to feel clean. You need to stop doing too much. Another thing to keep in mind, natural does not automatically mean better. I have tried so many natural deodorants that straight up made me smell worse than if I just used nothing. Don't fall for the label. Fragrance is fragrance, whether it's from a lab or an essential oil. If it burns, stings, or itches, it's not working. It is harming. So here's what actually helped me. I feel like when it comes to scent, this is very sensitive, no pun intended. Some people are very sensitive to scent and therefore shouldn't use them. Others can tolerate it better. For me personally, I have found that I am fine with tolerating scents. The only thing is that I don't like to spray anything or wear anything scented before I go to bed. I like to apply that in the morning. However, the deodorant that I use, it's by Dove and it's like the holiday scents. It's literally about to be summer, so why am I still wearing the holiday scents? I don't know. They just smell amazing. But that's the only like scented products that I will wear to bed. So I also just want to mention something about scent layering, which is something I've talked about in a lot of my videos. It's basically when you use complementary body care products to layer a scent so that it really just like is embedded in you, not literally, but it's like everywhere you go, you just have this scent and all the products complement the scent. So this is not something that I do every day. On an everyday basis, I am using unscented, fragrance-free products. It is special occasions or days when I am just feeling like straight up shit that I do scent layering. So I want to say like once a week or sometimes even once every 2 weeks, depending on how busy I am, that is when I will do scent layering. And that is because fragrance in products, I'm not a doctor, but it is not the best for your health. And I'm sorry, you guys can see I'm sitting in front of a whole Bath and Body Works layout over here. I have a ton of like perfumes and body sprays, more perfumes. Like I'm never gonna get to wear all of these. I think the bottles are cute and I just love wearing perfume, but I save it for special occasions. And same with the body lotion and scented body wash and all of those things. So I am not someone who skips them entirely. I just don't use them on an everyday basis. And something else to note is that when I don't use those products, I still smell good because I do everything that I'm telling you guys in this video. Most of the time, we feel like we smell bad because we are constantly trying to smell better. You do not need to smell like vanilla cupcakes 24/7. You just need to smell clean. You need to stop covering and start caring the right way. That is what this is about, not about buying more products. It is about finally learning how to use the right ones at the right time and not overdoing it. Let's talk about the stuff that is actually making you smell off, and it is not your soap. It is not your deodorant. It is not your hygiene routine. You could be doing everything right and still feel like something is off because the real problem is happening underneath the surface. Let's start with the number one odor trigger that no one talks about: dehydration. Yes, if you're not drinking enough water, your sweat smells worse, your breath smells worse, your body odor is stronger, you feel more gross, even when you're clean. And no, drinking a coffee and a Diet Coke does not count. If you are not drinking actual water throughout the day, every day, your body is trying to push out toxins with zero support. And when that happens, you sweat them out, you breathe them out. And yeah, sometimes you smell yourself and you wonder why you smell like a random soup. It is dehydration, so fix it. Add water all day long, and not just plain water. Throw in electrolytes if you're sweating a lot, or if you're drinking caffeine or alcohol, you need even more water. I keep water with me all day, and I can tell instantly when I am behind on water because I feel stale. That is really the only way to describe it. The next thing to talk about is your diet. And I am not saying this to shame anyone. I'm saying this because I literally lived through this and I didn't realize it until later. What you eat affects how you smell. Point blank. If your diet is full of sugar, processed food, dairy, and nothing fermented, your gut is unhappy. And when your gut is off, your whole body is off, especially your vaginal pH and sweat. If you've ever gone through a phase where you are constantly getting yeast infections, or if you smell weird even after showering, look at your food. Are you eating a bunch of sweets? Are you skipping water? Have you been going heavy on carbs and light on fiber? That is a huge trigger. So here is what actually helped me. I started adding in probiotics, yogurt, kefir, kombucha, or just a simple probiotic supplement. I cut back on sugar drastically. I still eat what I want, but I balance it now. Also, I drink chlorophyll drops now, and yes, I swear they help with odor, not in a magical TikTok way, but in a real low-key body just smells more neutral type of way. It is not about eating perfect. It is about giving your body stuff that actually helps it regulate. When your gut is balanced, your skin smells better. Your discharge is more normal. Your breath is better. Your armpits are more manageable. It all connects. The next odor trigger is stress sweat. If you have ever smelt yourself and thought that this does not even smell like me, it might be stress sweat. It smells different. It is heavier. It is more sour. It is more aggressive, harder to control. And here's the worst part. Your regular hygiene routine does not work on it the same way. You can shower, reapply deodorant, and still feel like it's not doing anything because it's not coming from your hygiene, it's coming from your nervous system. So if your BO is worse during the week and better on the weekends, that is why. If you suddenly smell worse during your period or before a big event, same exact thing. It's not you, it is stress. The fix: obviously, reducing stress helps, but let's be real, that is not always possible. What helped me most? Switching to a stronger clinical strength deodorant during high stress weeks, showering with an antibacterial bar soap like Irish Spring or Dial to reset the skin, changing out of tight clothes faster. Also, a weird tip: wash your armpits with a little glycolic acid once a week. It reduces bacteria and it helps keep odor down before it even starts. It is a game changer. Another thing that affects odor: not washing the right places. You might be showering every day and still missing key spots, like behind your ears, your belly button, in between your toes, under your nails, your behind, your clothes and towels. You could have the cleanest body and you could still be using musty towels that make you smell worse the second you dry off, or you're throwing on leggings that sat in the laundry for too long and smell stale. It all matters. If you feel like you're doing everything right but you still feel off, swap out your towel, change your pillowcase, and rewash your underwear drawer. That sounds dramatic, but I promise sometimes the problem is external contamination, not you. The last one: your environment. You smell like your house. I said it. Okay? If your space smells like food, pets, musty laundry, that clings to you. It clings to your hair. It clings to your skin. It clings to your clothes. You're nose blind to it because you live there, but other people notice. So open your windows, air out your room, light a candle, get some airflow going in your house, change your sheets, vacuum. Your environment is a huge part of how you smell, especially if you are doing everything right and you still feel like something is not adding up. The bottom line here is, if you feel like you smell off, it's probably not because you're dirty. It's usually about what you're putting in your body, what you're putting on your body, and what your body is being exposed to. And once you fix that, everything clicks into place. If anything in this video helped you, please tell me in the comments below. I want this to be a space where we can actually talk about this stuff without shaming or without any fluff, because this is what I needed 10 years ago, and maybe you do too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.